What's going on, YouTube? Of course, we're gonna wait till a few more people get in the room. What's good, Miss G Boys ENT? What's up? Katrina was good. LZ, what's up? Damon Lloyd was good. Waiting for a few more people to get in the building. What up, Robert? Alright, wait for about 5 more people to get situated. Make sure you guys have the call-in number, because I'm not answering any questions through the chat. Shout out to Miss Serenity Love and her group, Trust and Keys. I'm doing this one. Shout out to y'all for having me do this one. Most def, Ali. Becky was good. Okay, the call-in number is in the chat. Wait 1 second. Alright, that's the call-in number. Just for you guys. If you're not a member of the HAILRAZOR Legacy, well, you won't be getting that number. For the members of the Trust and Keys, for this special edition, you guys have the direct line right now. But everybody needs to be signed up at the HAILRAZORLegacy.com. Everybody needs to be a part of the community, a part of the support team, so we can build, share, and crack these different forms of matrices, you know, together. What's good, Vanessa? Raven, what's up? Alright, y'all, so we getting started. We're talking about these things right here today. these pieces of paper that is always attached to our windshields. Nobody likes it. It's like a bad decoration. Who ever seen one of these decorations before on their windshield? Stacy, what's good? Alright, the call-in number is in the chat room. We are talking about tickets and citations. Parking tickets, traffic tickets, tickets in general. Hold on one second, let me help Serenity get in. What's going on, Mia? 1 second, guys, trying to help Serenity get in. Okay. Okay, call now. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, the Serenity.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hola, hola. Do me a favor, mute the video in the background.
Okay.
You good? Others, what's up? What's up, Miss Serenity? You waiting on you?
What y'all waiting on me to do? To mute my phone?
You know, mute the video so we don't get feedback. You supposed to be talking to me.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So what's up? What's your question about tickets and citations?
I didn't actually know exactly what you did, what steps you did to get these tickets discharged. So I think that the group would like to hear that.
Well,
Exactly what steps you took to get this accomplished.
well, it's the steps are pretty. It's all about understanding proper timing. For one, most of the time we get tickets. We usually wait, to the very last minute to address them. And 9 times out of 10, we end up paying them, or paying them too late, if not paying them at all. So we wait, we get second notices, third notices, and what happens after that? They start to double and they start to triple. The correct way to discharge a ticket is soon as you get that nice little envelope on your windshield, you're supposed to package it right back out and send it right back off to them with your legal documentations. Now it's a 72-hour rule, a 10-day rule and a 30-day rule. But just off recent success and experience, that doesn't apply to this. But it's still always best to always address any type of citations and stuff like that, like immediately before it even hits the system.
Okay, and why is that?
Well, for one, it's going to be harder to get it out the system. You prolong the process. Two, depending on what the situation is, it's not the same situation with tickets and citations when you're dealing with situations like some things being on your credit. If something's on your credit, that means now we have to deal with the credit bureaus, and we have to deal with the creditors in order to discharge the debt, or fully at least. So that's why you address things early before it even hits the system. But if it hits the system, it could take about a good 30 to maybe max 45 days, depending on the city. If you have a fast operating city or a slow pace operating city, depending on how fast they can get it in and get it out.
Okay, you mentioned sending in your document along with the ticket, with the citation right away. What documents exactly would that be? Do we send in?
All right, so looking at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you get a ticket. It gives you instructions on the ticket. It says to pay or contest within a certain period of time. So what you do is, and each city is different with their tickets and different, but they all have the same similar instructions. But with this particular ticket, like I'm dealing with right now, I have to fill out this little form that comes with it. All of them don't come with that, depending on the city. So I have to fill out this form, and I'm filling out the form to request it for a hearing. Now I'm not requesting for a typical hearing, or I'm not doing a typical form of contesting. What I'm doing is you ordering a trial by written declaration, and you order a trial by written declaration by filling out the form as you normally would to request a hearing, and then so you check contest, but I write on the ticket hearing by written declaration. I write it there. See, we got to understand that we have power and authority to revise the contracts. These tickets and stuff like that is nothing but contracts. We have to understand. We have to know how to read the contracts. The contracts give you the directions. It said you had an option to pay or contest, meaning challenge. You chose to pay. They didn't tell you to pay. They said it. They basically said if you don't know how to operate, then you need to pay within a certain period of time, or that means you're liable, or in a lot of cases with a lot of debt, depending on the debt, silence makes you liable for any type of judgments, claims, citations, tickets, whatever they want to call it. So silence and not addressing things in a proper time, because it's certain types of debt you can wait too long, and then it's to the point where you can't even discharge it, or it take extreme measures to discharge the debt, and that's when you absolutely have to be in your proper status, as a secure party. These strategies right here, you don't even have to be a secure party. This is something everybody can do. Now, being a secure party does secure your transactions and your right to contract up under the Uniform Commercial Code if you ever had any type of issues coming back or whatever, so you have a defense, basically security for your defense. All we're doing right now is working on defense. So they strike, we catch. You see what I mean? We respond. So, all right. So now that we know to pay attention to the contract, read the contract thoroughly. Now, as far as the information that you're looking for on the ticket or citation, we got to understand that just because they call these things ordinances and in violations of ordinance 3546, just because they put a few numbers on the line and calling it a violation, don't mean that you obligated or liable for the violation just because they told you to. I mean, just because they say so. It's still a voluntary obligation if you know how to address it. It says, if you look on here, first of all, nobody will ever find a law that says that makes violations in city ordinances law. It's not against the unless you're. This is the thing. Unless you're committing a crime, that officer or whoever they have hired to write these tickets does not have jurisdiction or power to persecute you, to apply a debt on your behalf and force you and make you liable for something that you don't volunteer to. All you can do is volunteer to it. Now, do they have leverage? Of course they do. Because we riding around with their driver's license, which is another contract. We riding around with their license plates, which is another contract, which is all tied to a whole another contract called the social, which is tied to a whole another bond or contract, the birth certificate. So all these things are tied in together. It's like we gotta pay attention to like when the operations have changed, like. Because we look back and throughout the progress of the system and the technology updates that they've been doing throughout their systems and stuff like that. It wasn't always where they could just read your license plates and know your driver's license was suspended. So that tells you once that happened, that's telling you that obviously the license plate is tied to your driver's license. It's obvious that your driver's license is tied to a social, which is tied to that name that you claim, which is an artificial corporation. Now we have a driver's license. We went to apply to apply means to beg in the Black's Law Dictionary. So we went to apply for a driver's. First of all, we contracted ourselves. Unconsciously contracted ourselves to be liable for these. They think it's okay and that we're automatically gonna go for it because technically, yeah, we did contract. So methods like these work because we hitting them with different types of law that they have to abide by. You know what I'm saying? Putting them against the wall, making them show proof of something. If they can't show proof of the laws that's stated within here, the proof of offices and everything else I got in this letter, it's like they have to discharge the debt. They cannot proceed at all. It's just like if you go to court and they ask you your name, are you so and so? Are you John Doe? I guarantee the court is not going to proceed until you say yes. So is that a voluntary proceeding or not? No, you have to contract. So that's a verbal. So that proves to you that it's a lot of verbal contracting going on. Get pulled over by the police. Hey, may I see your driver's license, proof of insurance? Okay, I don't want no big problems with the police. So I'm gonna record his ass. Then I'm gonna politely tell him, I don't wish to contract, and I wish to reserve my rights upon the UCC 1-308. Why do you do that? Because now he's trying to verbally contract you in to do business, which is voluntary. Now, if you provide him, if he still demands and requests your driver's license, registration, insurance, because you are riding around with their stuff, you're safe. Because you've reserved your rights on the record. And now you have proof of that record because you recorded it, whether video or audio, preferably both. And before you contracted, you did that. You claimed your rights. You claimed your rights up under UCC 1-308, which reserves your rights in all commercial contracting. There's nothing above it. There's nothing above it. And anytime that they're trying to issue out a ticket or citation, that is a financial agreement, a contract, a financially binding contractual agreement. So they're trying to do business with you. If I knock on your door and try to sell you a bag full of knives, and you either you don't need the knives because you got a drawer full, or you simply you don't want to buy knives, somebody just knocked at your door. Are you obligated to buy those knives just because I knocked at your door and said you got to buy them? You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay. So the information that you need from the ticket is you looking for an officer's name and a badge number, because you need to all that stuff needs to be documented inside your documentations, because you putting them on legal notice as well as the courts, and depending on the situation, the judges. But for this, all you need is the badge number and the officer's name. Now, depending on your city and state, everything is not universally the same. For people that's asking questions inside the group, I'm not answering questions inside the live feed. That's why I gave out the number. So I need people to hear other people's questions while I'm answering it, so I won't have to double back and be trying to read and type at the same time. All right, so depending on your city, you have to learn your city. In certain cities, bigger cities, such as Chicago, they hire they recontracted with a third party organization to write the tickets as far as for the metering system. That right there gives us right away right there to challenge jurisdiction, because we never had a contract with that third party company. They have a contract with them. They can't just tell them, okay, you can apply debts to the citizens, to the people. We don't ask no questions, and we don't challenge. That's why we don't know how to do nothing. We just go along with it. So once you get that agent's name, that agent's badge number, whoever's calling, give me 1 second. Whoever's once you get that name and that badge number, you got all the other information. Of course, the ticket number, the date it was issued, and the time if it's available. And then you have one of these handy dandy certified mail receipts. This top section right here that peels off, this becomes the contract number. So you put that contract number right there on the document. Why do you put the contract number on the document? And why does this become a contract number? Because it's certified through the post office. The post office runs everything. That gives you the legal power to recontract, or to break a contract, or to challenge a contract. Because just like if a person tries to serve you, you have to admit that you're you. You have to sign off on it verbally or physically. So once your legal notice is sent back to the authorities, somebody has to sign off on this, and now that's public record that you can look up to look when this was received, who it was received from, and what time they received it. Now you got them. I'm giving y'all some hot sauce. I hope y'all putting it on your food.
I am.
All right. I hope y'all keeping up with me, because the concept of this applies throughout a lot of different things. You see what I mean? So once we understand these basic concepts on dealing with contracts, knowing how to read contracts, just get a better understanding the word, the verbiage inside of these different like start looking up these different words inside of like on a ticket. Like look up the word violation in the Black's Law. Look up citation in the Black's Law. Look up and then you correspond those terms and definitions. You correspond those with the traffic laws, the actual traffic laws, and even though that don't even matter. See, this is the thing about this stuff. We're not here to we don't write a this not no Aaliyah stuff. We're not writing a 4-page letter talking about some I shouldn't be getting a ticket because XYZ and XYZ, and I don't think I really didn't run that light. We don't care. I don't care if you ran 4 lights. We only challenge in jurisdiction. Prove to me that you got the legal right to even write the ticket. That's all I want to talk about. That's all that should be in your letter. That's all you should be challenging the courts. All right, Serenity. I think we got some more people trying to call in. You got anything else for me?
No, you can go ahead and get those callers in because I think one of them is my mod of the group that's trying to get in.
Okay, cool. Let me get them. Okay. Stay tuned in. Yo, whoever's not a part of the HAILRAZOR Legacy group, just know these documentations will be inside of the resource center at the HAILRAZORlegacy.com. If you're not a member, you better become one. Either get in or stay out. I'm gonna tell y'all what's up, but if you want the actual documents, you gotta be a part. You gotta be a part of the movement. All right, the phone line is open. The phone line is open. I got a lot going on today. I don't feel like being for a long time. Let's get it. The number is in the chat. I'm only answering questions on the phone line. Please do not ask me questions in the chat. I'm not answering questions in the chat. You know, it's funny. I give people the number to call, they don't call. Then when I get off the live chat, my phone be blowing up the whole week. I'm not gonna answer it. All right, now we'll answer that question you just asked. The HAILRAZORlegacy.com. Here's the access code for all members. That's inside the that's on this live feed right now. Here goes the access code to get in. Hey, don't tell me it's going straight to voicemail. Okay, try it again. All right, Spencer, who was that they called in? Yeah, Travis. We all good. Okay. I think a lot of you guys calling at the same time. Yo. Hello.
Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa, what's going on?
I'm good. I talked to you earlier about the ticket I received, and it was way in Kansas. So I sent them like an affirmation and then the affidavit of truth, and they sent me a letter back. And it was like a presentment, but they didn't put an amount. So I wasn't sure, do I need to call them and get an amount?
They didn't put an amount.
Nope. They just said I didn't show up for court, and if I don't do something in 30 days, they'll suspend my license. So I need to pay that bill, and it'll be an extra $81 if I don't pay it. And also, when I first got the ticket, there was no money on it. Kansas tickets look totally different than what you put up there.
Yeah, I mean city to city, because like I said, I have deal with tickets from all over the surrounding cities. So, but they all the same. But if you still get notices regarding the citation, 1 second, guys. When I'm on the phone, already talking, I can't click you guys in. It's not one of those conference lines. It's just one at a time. So give us 1 second. When I say the line clear, start calling in. All right. So it's like basically anytime if they're still communicating with you about the violation, then whatever you sent in basically didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Right.
That's supposed to shut down everything. You see what I mean? Or
Yeah.
or it might not have worked 100%. See, if you send a certain type of acknowledgments, it might not be exactly what you needed to completely, or you might not have sent it in a way where it should have shut it down or could have shut it down. So they'll continue to try to recontract with you. So if you're getting weird responses back with obligations with no dollar amount, that's usually what that is. It means you jabbed them. They felt it a little bit, but it wasn't enough to knock them out. So
Right.
you got to take them gloves off.
So should I just call them and say, how much is this? And write it on there and just accept it?
Well, the only time you talking to them is to they should have an online portal that you can log into to get information. That's for one. Only time you calling them is to get if you need information about a ticket that you don't already have. But if it's in the system, it's in the system. So you should be able to see it in the system. And yeah, so we don't now. How did you send that affidavit off?
Certified mail.
Okay, so you sent the certified mail.
And I sent it to the court clerk and the DA.
Oh, you sent it to the DA?
Yep.
That's funny. Now that's okay. The DA, by law, the DA is supposed to be the one that actually does the prosecutions for these type of cases or whatever. But they never do, of course. You know what I'm saying? But so it's no need to send it to the DA actually, because all you have to do is show acknowledgement that you're aware of the position and responsibilities of the DA.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Because when I called them to get the information on the case, so I can know who the circuit clerk was, she told me who would be overseeing it, and she said it was the DA. So
they admitted it, right? Now,
yeah, it's a little hick town.
Oh, where is this at?
It's called Winfield, Kansas.
Oh, it sounds like one. All right, so now that's a little different. So now you got a whole nother experience there. That's like one of them small towns where the sheriff, pretty much the sheriff runs a lot anyway. A lot of people don't know that, but where the sheriff or the judge will come down to your jail cell and all this other crazy stuff. But these people,
know everybody. Yeah.
Those are the best experiences to me, because usually when you're in a high volume city, they don't have the time to deal with this type of stuff. You send them some stuff that look like whoa, let's just dismiss that. You see what I mean? They don't have time to deal with it because they get too much money. So they're not finna be challenging and going back and forth with you if you send in your paperwork and stuff properly. But that's neither here nor there. So what you need to do is don't send it. Your last resort should be to send it to the DA. You still send it. You still basically send it the normal way to pay the ticket.
Okay.
Like so, like I don't know if it says like initially to send it to the if it has like a Department of Finance or the actual police station of that city or whatever the case. But whatever that ticket say, whatever address that was on that ticket to pay,
Yeah.
that's where you see because technically this is your payment. And basically,
Yeah, it's all in the same place.
okay, same place. Okay,
Yeah.
so now how did you use a certified mail receipt as the contract number?
Yes.
You did. Okay, and you say you sent the affidavit of truth.
Yeah. The traffic. It's about the traffic stop lawful notice. I wanted to send it to you, but I never got your email, so you might just put your email out there, and I'll send you what I sent them. I got it ready to send to you. I just need your email.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that, but I want to see exactly which one you have.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I sent one. My first couple trials, it was some affidavits, and but I didn't get any type of luck. Basically, what happened with mine, it doubled and it tripled, and then
Okay.
so I got another one, like back to back. And I'm like, you know what? It took me like 3 solid days to really put some nice gumbo together for this. And
Can I send them a UCC 3 and let the Secretary of State handle it?
nah, we don't need to see. This is what I did with this letter. I combined UCC, I combined maritime admiralty law, I combined constitutional law,
Okay.
I combined everything. So basically, UCC 1-308, I reserved my rights up under the whole contract right there at the top of the page. Another thing you got to make sure you're doing is you keeping your page numbers on there because they'll be like, oh, we didn't get that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Your page numbers, a nice mix of different, but this is the thing. We got to know what we're challenging inside of our legal disputes. You see what I mean? We have to. The only thing that we're challenging when we're talking about traffic and parking tickets is jurisdiction. That's it. So if your letter had all type of other stuff in there, they like whatever. They'll be like, oh, this person know what they're doing. That's what they'll do, and they'll just try to get you to recontract.
Well, that affirming was letting them know I didn't want to step foot in their court, and I'm not that person.
Yeah, so you was defending another aspect though. All you doing it?
Oh, okay.
See, this letter is almost it's basically stating like This is almost like a condition to pay. Like under these conditions, I will pay. You know what I'm saying? I'm conditionally accepting your offer. This is what we tell them.
Okay.
Like, hey, we got the offer, and I'm conditionally accepting it. All you got to do is you know what I'm saying? Prove that you can even lawfully even write me a ticket. You see what I mean? Up under the actual constitutional laws and well, first of all, when we're dealing with the courts, we don't even deal with too much constitutional laws because when you're in court, we're dealing with the law of the sea. We're dealing with maritime admiralty law. So the Constitution is out the building. If we didn't know that, so it's only certain things in the Constitution that we utilize when we're dealing with these things. We're dealing with the mothership right there. We're dealing with Latin. This stuff is before the Constitution was even developed. And the reason why we're dealing with maritime admiralty law is simple as this. We've seen a lot of different things on the news with National Guards lately, right? Anytime the National Guard is called in in major cities and states, that city is in martial law. So now we dealing with the law of the sea now.
What's the name of the titles that's you're gonna in your resources center for me to pull those?
This is gonna be I don't know. I'm gonna title it something easy like traffic ticket killer or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. And should I go ahead and here's one thing: the letter that they sent me is asking for my signature with the payment.
See,
So do I just send the paperwork you have plus the letter and not sign the letter?
nah, you always send a copy back of their presentment. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to endorse it on the back, that's fine. But
Oh, okay.
I would just, like I say, just document and record everything you're doing, so you
Yeah.
can perfect your own. Because it might be a small twist that you might need to do, in order for things to work on your end in your particular city and your county, just because they're different. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
uh, this joint right here, man, this is highly effective. Highly effective. If you and I'll like I say, I'll have inside the resource center, exactly how you see, because it's like real technical as far as, but it's not like, for instance, I use the same envelope they sent me, but I'll make sure I put international stamps on them. I put an international stamp on the on the envelope. I put an international global stamp on the bottom, on the corner of the front of the contract, and on the back of it, and then I sign across of it with a gold, silver, or a purple ink gel pen. Now you become the postmaster.
Yeah, I got the purple on. Yeah, okay.
Exactly, that's royalty. So now you're the postmaster and the supreme authority over the contract, and you put them on notice, on a time sensitive notice based on the contract, and the amount of days you put within the contract. And you, and at the end of the day, they give you too many problems. You bust out the because my next move was, if this recent letter didn't hit, then didn't hit, like I was surprised how this one, it just, because it was an older ticket, like. Like I say, it's easier to discharge stuff when you fresh get it before it even hit the system. It's.
Right.
But like, if you got a situation where it done doubled and tripled,
Yeah.
and then you get a call back in, you say you looking up tickets on your name, and they tell you, yeah, you was found not liable. Found not liable, and that's the whole purpose of this. You're not liable because they didn't have the authority and the right and jurisdiction to apply to issue out a citation.
So when you know that everything went well for you, did you get notice or you just checked it?
When now they ain't gonna tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna
Okay.
admit that they. You gotta, your time clock. You know how much time you gave them. If you gave them 30 days, and it's gonna take a good 30 days if it's already in the system, like a good 30
Okay.
days. You gonna go in there. You check online. So I checked online first, and then after I did, I'm like, hold on, let me make sure. Let me double check. I called them. I called them up. They're like, hey, you know. And you're like, yeah, you have no tickets on your name. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. She like, yeah, you went to court on such and such date. I'm like, in their system they put I went to court and everything, and I was found not liable. I didn't go. I'm not going to court. This went to court. This went to court. Like I said, when you send it in, like I say, make sure you specify on the envelope that it's not a standard contest. That you're requesting a trial by written declaration.
Okay.
Trial by written declaration.
Got it.
So when you get this document in the resource center, just go over the real. I'm not gonna sit up here and go through all the verbiage because I'm giving it
No,
out.
I'll go through it. I'll go
You
through
know
it
what I'm
all.
saying? Because this stuff is, even though technically it's a template now, this is a personal warfare. You see what I mean? You have to really, soak in the information and really know what these things, what these letters mean. So what they mean to you and what they mean to them, and how to issue it to them. So you'll start learning the timelines and how to address this, when to address that, how not to, and then certain situations, like when you just completely lost, because we can completely lose in a situation we just waited too long.
Right. Right.
Unless we
Well,
find
I
out.
knew not to wait. I jumped right on it.
Okay. So let's keep. All right. So do this. Yeah, I definitely want to see the outcome of that because, especially, I always told that because when I ask people these questions, they automatically assume, the opposite. Like I say, okay, would say for instance, like, okay, do you think like the city you're in, well, between your city and let's say New York City, right? Which one do we think will be the hardest to defeat in this particular situation? A lot of people would say New York City. I'm like because it's bigger, right? You know what I'm saying? Like no, not no.
Yeah.
It's them small little counties and cities. They have nothing else better to do. They gonna show up to all these little petty court dates because they got low crime rates. They don't got a lot of stuff going. They not
Yeah.
writing tickets throughout. It's those people. You know what I'm saying? So once you start smacking them around, it's game over.
Yeah.
It's easy for the
Right.
big sharks because the big sharks all about volume, high volume. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they
Yeah.
not finna stop what they doing, and they got thousands of red light camera checks coming in and all this other stuff. They can care less. They not
Well,
even finna
just
deal with that.
share your email and I'll send that tonight.
All right, I'm putting it in the chat right now.
All right.
So I need to
Uh,
make sure you let me know, not you in particularly, because I want to know that I want to see the results of this one.
right. Right.
I
Right.
want you to because that's gonna be a big victory. So do the get the paperwork revised, download it, revised for you. Uh, let me double check it, and
Okay.
then well you'll see it. You know what I'm saying? You can just I'll make arrangements so you can give me a call. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
Then so I know so we put a schedule like say if you send it out Monday and we count out 30 days after that and then we definitely got to see those results. But we're looking at about 30 days for this case, right?
Right. 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 They
Yeah.
gave me 30 days, which I still got 3 weeks. So yeah.
Yep. All right. So yeah, definitely I just put the email inside the chat room.
All right. I'll yield to someone else.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah, he said he put a box around it. Yeah, you got to create your own section. If the option is not available, you create the option on the contract. Hello.
Hi, good evening. This is Latoya. I have a little disadvantage that I can't really see a lot while I'm talking to you, but I'm glad I got you so maybe I can talk just now.
Most definitely. Hey, whoever, 1 second, sweetheart. Hey, whoever's not subscribed needs to subscribe. That's my personal payment for this live feed right now. It's free. I need that. I need you to subscribe, like, and share the video, and definitely become a member. The power is in numbers. We operate together. All right. So what's going on?
Okay, so my question is a little different as far as citations with parking tickets. Are you open to all questions, or is it just that you're focusing on?
Oh no, we talking about in general. We talking about in
Okay.
general because it's the same thing. It don't matter what type it is.
Okay, so I had a little different situation. What happened was my family had a home in one state in New York, and also had a home and property in another state, which is of course in New Jersey. My grandmother had under her name, but somehow I was a part of it, but it was at a young age, so I don't exactly know what part I played in it. Bottom line is she passed away, and her daughter was, I guess, the executive of the state at the time when she passed away. She was a POA, and she sold it for way less than what it was actually valued or worth. And now of course the Jewish people bought it up, renovated it, making money off of it or whatever the case may be. And I was reading up on UCC different codes and stuff, and reading how just trying to piece all of the information that I've been getting, and as far as this research is when I started. And I wanted to know, like, how would I fight that if possible to go back and try to gain our property back, be it making original deals with a straw man, or be it making deals, not properly through the UCC coding or through the court, or like how would I attack that situation?
Now you're talking about a property.
Right.
See, now that's sticky. See, I haven't dug too deep into the properties yet as far as housing. Uh, I've had some success with vehicles. It's the same thing, but what as far as claiming is the same thing. So all right, so this is what I do know. Uh, Anytime if we're using the UCC, uh, that's so we're going back to the recent video I just did, the UCC3. So the amended return. So basically, you're claiming you need to claim whatever property you're talking about uh, as your collateral on that financing statement. So that's first and foremost. Now, once you make that claim, that's a commercial. That's your UCC lien on it, and no one else can do that UCC. No one else can challenge that on that aspect. But it is going to take other forms of remedy for you to accomplish everything you're trying to accomplish. But what's going to happen is once you properly file that, and I have the sample templates for the UCC3 and the initial. Of course, you can't do the UCC3 until you do the UCC1, the supreme title. Once you got your initial UCC statement done, and you coming back to do your a UCC3 on a particular property, because you're gonna do a UCC3 for each individual new type of property you want to claim as collateral. So once you do that, Washington's supposed to notify the other states and stuff like that in the commercial code divisions about your filing, about your claim. What you they do, but I don't think they honor that, because they want you to do more legwork in order to prove your claim, basically. So it's remedy for that too. So whoever you need to send acknowledgement to of that claim, you would know better than me. When you're filing your UCC3, it's the box at the top that says send acknowledgement to. That's who address you put right there. Don't put yours.
That would be to the state, right? Not to the person that actually took it over. Would it be to the actual state where that property resides?
Well, nah, it'd be whoever's supposed to be the so-called creditor of that property.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to send acknowledgement to them, and then you just brainstorm and think who anybody else that can have that is contractually tied to that property besides you. You want to send acknowledgments to anybody you could think of. You see what I mean? Now, like I said, I haven't dealt with as far as housing properties and stuff like that yet. Now, if you want to talk about some vehicles, yeah, I'm a little.
Like that spring that up, because I would like to talk about actually. Okay, so moving on right along. Me personally was in a situation where I recently purchased a vehicle. Okay? Well, I recently financed a vehicle. And because my first time financing a vehicle, I definitely was ignorant to financing a vehicle. Did not read all of the paperwork in financing a vehicle. All I knew was the sign and driving out package. How it backfired on me was the first payment that I was late on, they repoed the vehicle. I spoke with the bank and they told me their rules are different, which, I couldn't even question at the time because I didn't read the paperwork. But they said that, their rules are they give you 20 days, not even a 30 days payment, not even 30 days late, they give you 20 days. And after 20 days, they can repo it. Now, while I was going through the process, the bank was really like gangsters, like they cursed me out, they yelled at me, non-professional, no nothing.
Yeah.
And at first, their first interest was for me to pay them 2 months of the payment and to pay up whatever tickets was owed on the car and to make sure the insurance was up to date, and then pay the repo fee, which was another car payment. And then the
Mm-hmm.
repo's fee for storage, which was $45 a day.
Hmm. So they was trying to finesse you all the way around the board.
Right. I'm like, homie, if I can't pay a month payment, who do you think I'm doing? What's the trick? I got to pull the rest of that out. So,
Yeah.
I was going back and forth with them, frustrating them, trying to, beg and borrow from everybody out of knew. And that's when I came across this information now, what I've been doing my research on. So I let the car go. When I made a conscious decision to let the car go and didn't fight it anymore, then all of a sudden they called me with all these great news of how they trying to help me, how they dropped the repo fee, they dropped the storage fee. All I had to do was give them one payment,
Really?
and they wouldn't. Yeah, they wouldn't.
What you sent? What you sent in? What you do?
Honestly, the first call the first time I said something in the release of this call was I asked them for a QSIP number. Nobody knew what the QSIP number was. They were like, "We'll get back to you on that." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Okay, no problem." And then when they got back to me, all of a sudden it was the VP of the bank, who they don't call you for anything. The VP all of a sudden calls
The
me and
VP
tells
called
me,
you.
I'm trying to help you out. No, you'll never, no speaking of the QSIP number. But I'm trying to help you out. Just make the payment, and we won't auction your car off, and we'll wait for you to pay off the ticket. So I'm like, really? What about the refund fees in the store? They're like, don't worry about that ticket. I'm like, really?
Hold
And I'm
on.
like,
Back
so
it up. Hold on. Hold on.
I
Hold on. Hold on. What did you send them?
sent them nothing. I did not send them one piece of
Did
paper.
did you
Not nothing.
did you so you did you ever file a UCC?
I never filed you. I didn't know nothing about none of this until I started going through this with my car. I didn't know anything about any of this.
So you was talking to him and asking him about the QSIP.
That's all I did was asking the Q said. That's when I started this research when I was going through this whole repo situation. And I read about the QSIP number saying that the value of it that they put, once you put your social and your signature on a document, this is what they give in, and they put that QSIP number on it, which turns that document into a bond. So that bond is valued way more than whatever it is that you're having to pay. So they
Right.
would rather release you of that, and they'll keep the value of the QSIP number rather than give you the QSIP number. So that's when I first read, that's my already thought when they told me that was the first thing that I was like, oh, you gotta give me the QSIP number. I'm gonna make that thing. Can you just give me the QSIP number? And they were like, well, I don't know what that is. Where did you get this from? Oh, blah. So I'm like, don't worry. I think they'll know about it. Just give me a call back with the information. I'm sure they know what I'm talking about. And the next call I got was all these fees dropped and just paid them the 1 month payment. And by that time, I already gave up on trying to get the car because I realized the whole, mechanism of how everything is going to be bank. So I didn't bother fighting them anymore, and then I continued my research of what I'm doing now.
Now that's deep right there. Um, yeah, that's the first time I heard of that one. Just off you mentioning, the QSIP number, give you the QSIP number. That's strange right there. I'm liking that story. Um, man, yeah, I want to dig into that whole concept a little bit more. So make sure you first of all you're a member of the HAILRAZOR Legacy.
Right.
Get into them so we can tie some things together with that because that can be useful for remedy once something like that happens. Now, my experience with that as far as that type of situation, uh, actually prevented them from repoing and reporting on the credit. They just stopped, you know. But constantly trying to give me the contract verbally.
Right.
So as far as phone calls, my next move outside of that would be, okay, how do I eliminate the phone calls? But other than that, yeah, that's deep. Because okay, basically, just like you said, every company is different. You know what I'm saying? This company might report every 30 days on your credit score. Or this company might report every 45. This one might do 20. Or this one might have stipulations where if you usually most, well, not most, well, as far as the ones I know of, usually you can go behind 2 3 months on the car note, and they want
Right.
to the point that they actually come to report from you. They'll let you, you know what I'm saying? I never heard that. So for them to act, unless it was something bad in their contract to begin with, as far as lawfully, as far as, because that don't even sound right. 20 days they can repo your car. That don't
Absolutely. I've
sound.
had months been hiding their car for months, for damn near a year. And
Yeah,
having a repo or they stole some to repo it. Like I've never, they just happened to catch me once just in the glimpse. The repo guy told me he wasn't even looking for me. He said he just got the hit on my car that day, and I wasn't even the person he was looking for, but because he passed my vehicle, I guess it gave up an alert or whatever, and it just sure enough took it. I've never heard of no 20 days, nothing, honestly.
okay. Yeah, we're gonna dig into that. I'll share with you the like I say, the if you got any questions about preventing that from happening, but definitely let's dig into that perfecting that remedy. You know, as far as being able to get your property back into your hands if it is taken. Uh, yeah, as far as the housing, that's one of my next on to do list. As far as of course housing properties and stuff like that. But I think my next initial task right now is dealing with some child support stuff and some other stuff. As far as custody for a friend, some custody battles. So, but yeah, I'm definitely that's on the to do list. We knocking them out one at a time. You know, I had to I had to hurry up and find a remedy for these BS tickets and citations, because this is you know, a lot of this stuff is destroying people's lives. Some people have thousands of dollars in tickets. You know what I'm saying? Can't drive, so they limited. Can't get to work, or limited to work and stuff like that. So I had to hurry and you know, put a halt to that stuff. You know, find a solution for that. So we working. So make sure you share the video, subscribe, and let's stay in tune. Definitely get at me once you send me an inbox once you sign up at the HAILRAZOR Legacy, so we can start. Send me over what you got as far as the QSIP or whatever, and I send you what I got.
Well, one last question.
Mm-hmm.
In this process, because I am new on this journey, would you say like the beginning step of doing it, like you have a UCC, you probably UCC, did you begin with authenticating your birth certificate and then doing the UCC? Because somehow now I didn't think you could do the UCC without authenticating your birth certificate, because that's letting them know you're a live person.
I did it actually. Yeah. I did my UCC filings in 2014. You know what I'm saying? So 2014. So that's before I even knew about authenticating the birth certificate. So like way before. So no, because all I knew was I needed was my certificate of live birth, and only reason I knew I needed that is to get the specific information off of that, so I can file it on the UCC. That's why. But of course, yeah, the authenticating the birth certificate is a very important part of the process and a part of our personal security, because that makes that's showing that we are the title holders. All this different stuff. So see the filing on UCC and doing that doesn't stop us from doing remedy right now. You know what I'm saying? But it protects us in the midst of doing remedy. You see what I mean?
Right. They
You
come
know?
after you.
Yeah. Yep. So, yep. But yeah, yeah. I already did a video on authenticating and all that stuff too this week too. So check that out and stay in tune.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
I'll stay in touch.
Okay. Yes. So she had a nice experience there with the dealing with the vehicles. Heard something about it. They said they're gonna repossess. Yeah, and they trying to give her the. I ain't never heard nobody trying to give her the car back and all this other stuff. Hello.
Hey, how are you? This is Stacy Spencer.
How you? What's going on, Stacey? Can you pause the video in your background?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So, so I paused it. All right. So my question, bro, is a couple of things. First, I appreciate what you're doing and you're sharing this information. It's great information. I love what you just said about the UCC stuff. I have authenticated my birth certificate, so I've gotten that, and I got the Department of State to recognize it. With that, I was just trying to figure out the next steps behind that after that's done. Two, my questions are surrounding debt, like student loans, taxes, if you have back taxes, things of that nature. And I appreciate you answering the questions about the traffic tickets. That was awesome.
Yeah, hopefully I explained that thoroughly enough in as far as the traffic, because that really was supposed to be the actual only topic we was going to discuss today, but it's kind of hard for me to stay on topic sometimes. But like I said, these the templates for the traffic. So I just want to let everybody know this will be in the resource center and available for you guys or whatever. And then any other individual questions about traffic tickets and citations and the whole fight to eliminate these things the proper ways will be in the forum. So yeah. So you say back taxes. I'll start with that. I'm dealing with that. You know, I'm dealing with that right now. I do have a remedy. I haven't tried yet, but basically what happens is, first off, we got to go back to the beginning. Like, ask ourselves, why are we liable for taxes? We're liable, of course. So we got to ask ourselves, where do we volunteer? All this stuff is talking about, where do we volunteer at? Where do we contract at to make us liable for these so-called debts? And we all know, of course, there is no money in America, so we can't pay anything. All we can do is discharge, right? So all we need to know is have remedy, and the remedy is based on what the laws that apply to whatever we're dealing with. So taxes, as an employee, we gotta look that up in the Black's Law Dictionary. Whenever you use your Social Security number to gain employment with an employer, we instantly become an employee of the government. An employee is another word for for a slave, closely speaking in the Black's Law Dictionary. So now with the uses of the Social Security number, now you're obligated and liable for the taxes. You see what I mean? Based on our signature and the use of the Social Security number on that 1040 form, once we were applying for the job, we were supposed to do 1099s.
Oh, wow.
You would never get hit with tax evasion and stuff like that with a 1099. So with the 1040, now we just signed up for taxes. And so now when we get hit with all these taxes throughout the year, at the end of the year, we say, man, these taxes, that, and then we get to the point where we've been screwed so long. We look forward to for the end of the year, so we get this tax return, right? You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, we signed up for with the 1040. The 1040 is one of the most dangerous contracts we could sign, with the government. You know what I'm saying? That right there strings us out your whole life along. You see what I mean? Now how to correct it? It's a form called the 1040X. It's a 1040X, and basically the way it's filled out, you fill out the same way as if you was doing the same way you did your regular tax return or your tax preparer, however they did your tax return for that year or the years that you worked. You will fill it out the same way, and then you will file it, and that corrects the status of or protects your status as far as filing. Or an easy way, and you'll notice different people in different companies start to run away from you and should be like, whoa, what is that? You know what I'm saying? When you first of all, every contract we do this how the most powerful utensil we have and weapon we have in this particular world of commerce is our pen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Understanding, the simple power of the color of pen. When we're writing in black ink, that resembles death. So you're writing within the corporation's blood. You know, red is symbolic for, you know, the blood inside the body of the flesh and blood human being, man and woman. You know, blue ink, stuff like that. Gold and silver ink standing for royalty. So any contract, this is the thing. It's so much information. Anybody that says acts like they know everything about all this stuff, it's impossible.
Right.
It's too much stuff out here. Every city is different. Every state is different. Every corporation is different. So what can you do? All you can do, starting off right now forever, is always reserve your rights within the contract. You'll be amazed when you start reserving your rights within the contract initially, how you will not get screwed in the end, or it'll be hard for them to screw you, or you'll have a legal defense if they do. As simple as knowing how to sign your name. If you leave your name naked without any protection, without signing UCC 1-308, then you have no protection. Now they can now you've monetized you've monetized a contract, and you have no rights.
So when you sign this, you got to sign UCC 103-08 or
UCC 1-308. That reserves your rights within the contract. It reserves your legal rights, your initial rights, and all that reserves your rights based on everything, every word and clause within that contract that you don't even understand. You see what I mean? Or that the other contracting party left out. You see what I mean? So that simple thing right there, and of course we got to be, especially depending on what type of agency it is. Most people don't even notice it, but if you're dealing with certain ones that know better, they were like they literally would be like, we cannot do business with you. With you reserving if you reserve your rights with us, we can't do business with you because we can't give up any of our rights. I've got responses like that.
agency is that?
Yeah.
What kind of agency?
Oh, specifically insurance agencies.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes. Yes. I had a very lovely response from some insurance agents that gave me so much clarification and validation on the power and the understanding that they know that you're reserving your rights and you limiting them within the contract.
Right. Okay.
You see what I mean?
So with this 1040X, you can reestablish and file that with your employer. And
No. This is when the 1040X is used when let's say, okay, you filed taxes for 2016
right.
up under the Slave Act, and
Right.
you know, so now you're trying to go back and say you might owe, especially if you owe. This is remedy if you owe. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so say you owe, you know, X amount of $100 or $1,000. So now you either gonna have to pay that, or they're gonna take it out your next return, or you do the 1040X correction. And like I say, you file the same thing. I think it's some other things you might have to change to adjust. Basically, you just adjusting the books. As a creditor and as private bankers, all we do is balance books. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So once we file, basically you're gonna file that. You're gonna file that with as like a new return.
Oh, I got
You see what I mean?
So even for past returns as well. So if you went back
That's
10
what we're
years,
talking about. Yeah. So this is what it's used for, in conjunction with another remedy that I haven't done this year. I'm gonna when I get into that, when I get focused on the tax part, I'm gonna like I said, I'm pulling that out because I just discovered the 1040X file form, but the 1099 OID, the 1099 OID forms, and remember, like most tax forms are all black and white, right?
Right.
You'll notice that all these other it's so many different tax forms out there. It's crazy. Remember, whatever type of matrix they put us into, they have to give remedy. Just like if on the back of a cigarette box, they give you the product, but they gotta tell you that you can get cancer too. You know what I'm saying? So So they have to give you remedy. You'll be surprised to see that all the documents that we use, because we're using their documents to pretty much discharge and balance the books out. So it's an IRS form for everything. It's an IRS form, and coincidentally, the IRS form is black and red.
Right.
Remember, when we're dealing in red, we're dealing with the real man and woman. It's kind of weird that it's red. Like, okay, so this is for me, because when you filing those black and white documents, you're the corporation.
Right.
They can't deal with you as a human, as a flesh and blood man. They're not even talking to you. They're talking to your corporation. But if you said shit, that's me. Okay, pay the debt then. You know.
Right.
So it's one of those things. But the most important thing, though, see, we have to come up with remedy to pull ourselves out. But the most important thing is not to get pulled in the beginning. You see what I mean?
Right. So initially, you just file the 1099. So even if you're going for employment and you don't file a W-4, you just file a 1099. Is that the protocol?
You have to you notify that employee that you can't, for whatever reason. You don't got to get too deep into it, because people start. First of all, it's none of their business. Second of all, it's against the law for an employer to demand for a person to disclose their social security number.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, so you ask yourself, so what do you use for tax purposes? For tax purposes, as a either a private banker or a creditor or whatever you want to call yourself, is the EIN number.
Right.
So you can give them a number, you just don't give them the social. And if they give you a problem about the social, this is what you hit them with. Hold on. This is for the ones that act like they don't, and some of them don't know the law. They ignorant of the law too. So you just politely tell them, like, for my own personal security and assurance, my own personal security reasons, I don't disclose my social. If they say something, they say, yeah, well, you have to XYZ. I say, well, no, it says right here. You pull out the IRS forms and stuff like that, the color of law. The citizen, I call it the P1s, 2s, and 3s, and this is giving the IRS notice that this employer or company is denying you employment because you won't disclose your social security number, which isn't yours anyway, because it told you on the back of the social security card. So why would you want to use that? But this EIN number is yours.
Right.
And that's the purpose of the EIN number, for tax purposes. Recording purposes. But you're not gonna. That's a whole nother story. But traditionally, the EIN number still will be taxed on different transactions you do with that EIN number. So you still have to apply a remedy even when using that. But at least you're protecting yourself from the corporation, and liability from the social security number.
Okay.
And that's it.
So the remedy, the fact that now you're working for an employer, but you want to go and protect yourself. Can you change that form that you signed up with the employer to the EIN number now, and then move forward with that?
I mean, once you have the dialogue with the employer, well, this is the thing. Most of them won't even notice that you gave them an EIN number. Actually, some forms have social security number or EIN number, but the majority of us don't just are trained to just put the social.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
So
you just have to look. Right?
You have to look, but if it's not there, and like I said, we all know this is not legal advice, not a lawyer, none of that stuff. Of course, So what we don't want to do when doing anything, whenever we in a situation where we don't want to use the social, I'm not gonna lie, there's certain situations where I might still use my social. You know what I'm saying? As of right now, but I'm getting to the point where I'm not even gonna use it. But you have to build up to that point. You know what I'm saying? But if you are using it, know how to protect your rights with using it. That's what it's all about. That's unrealistic to tell everybody, hey man, don't use your social no more. Like starting today. That like don't even make
Right.
sense. So if you're gonna use it, know how to use it. So what you don't do, which is illegal for on your behalf, is to like if you have no option for EIN number and it says put your social and you put your EIN number in that box as if that was your social security number. You can't say like this is my social. You
Right.
can do stuff like scratch out social security number and write in EIN or put a lot of people do this too. They just put all zeros in the social security number section, and then they write up under it or next to it that the EIN number, and they, you do it strategically or whatever, and then they give you problems. It's all about knowing what you about to go up against, and then you already have your legal documentations and your backings ready to go if you get any type of hassle.
Right.
Yep.
All right, I got you. And I don't want to monopolize the time because I know I'm sure other people
Yeah,
have questions.
yeah. I got a couple people calling. Yep.
But that 1040X, right?
Yeah, look into that.
Can you just go back?
I'll post it. I'll have it in the resource center, and like I said, that's going to be one of my next focuses on. So definitely, if we got people that's looking into it, that's trying to perfect that process as well. Yeah, let's definitely get it.
I appreciate that. And it's the same thing for student loans, basically, as well.
Any contract we sign, we reserving our rights.
Okay, so
Yep.
even if you're trying to get from underneath your student loans, is that the same process as well?
Now, getting up underneath them as far as full liability, or like you talking about on the credit.
Well, either way. I mean, not being responsible based on the contract that you signed initially with them.
Okay, well, Sally Mae is a big, you know what? So
Yeah.
what I'm telling you is I ain't got a big enough rock for her yet. I ain't tried to hit her with nothing yet. So but not as far as taking her out fully. But as far as on credit, yeah, that's all day. We got contracts in order for that to knock them right out the water. Bankruptcies, whatever. So it's the same, especially like I'm a credit repair specialist. So being
Okay.
doing that for so long, I started to understand like, wait a minute, it's the same shit. All you gotta know is what law to apply to the victim. That's it. That's all. What and how you deal with them is you have to find. It's just like being a lawyer in a court case. You want to prove whether the other party is guilty. Prove and give acknowledgement of something fraudulent on their end or illegal. You see what I mean? So if you put them on legal notice on something fraudulent, illegal on their end, and you notify them that the higher authorities to report them to, they're not gonna go back and forth with you and say you're right or nothing like that. But they're not gonna fuck with you at all. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be admitting guilt. They're not gonna admit guilt. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You just gonna call in one day and they be like, "Yes, sir, we don't have your file in our office anymore." That's the funniest shit in the world you ever get, and that's the best. That's the best feeling in the world. I promise you. When I first got that, and I got a lot of this stuff recorded, so it'll be. I'm gonna start posting that stuff in the resource center. That'd be the funniest thing in the world. When you got the first recording on how they treated you in the beginning, and then when they got that notice in the mail, and then they like. That's the biggest victory in the world. I promise you.
I hear you, brother. I
Yeah.
hear you. Well, once again, I appreciate you sharing, man. And I'm gonna head off. I signed on to your site, and I'm definitely gonna be supporting you. And I appreciate it. All right.
Okay, appreciate it, bro.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Hey guys, I went way over my time limit as usual. I got a lot going on today. Had some personal issues. I got another ticket yesterday. That I went home immediately and wrote my notice up. And this is gonna be, yeah. Not only did I get a ticket, the police officer that wrote they wrote me a ticket because I had a special type of license plate cover. And he decides to write me a ticket for my special type of license plate cover. Not only write me a ticket, I don't care about the ticket. I love tickets. He writes me a ticket, and I look on my I happen to look back at my license plate and notice that this motherfucker took the liberty and balls to take a screwdriver and unscrewed the goddamn cover off of my shit and put my license plate back on there. Oh, he's gonna have a fucking problem. New match. Hey y'all, I'm done with the I can't do no more calls. I gotta run out and take care of something, y'all. Peace out. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share. If whoever's not part of the HAILRAZOR legacy, I don't know what to tell you. Right now we knocking on 200 members strong within 2 weeks now. 200 members strong and growing rapidly. We got our own private network, resource center. I got so much stuff to put on that website, it's retarded. I'm updating night and day, you know, to perfect this stuff, to have a one-stop database for everything we need. You know, world citizenship. You know what I'm saying? Right to travel. Coming soon. Right. We're gonna be connected with the a special company that deals with, you know, private travelers plates and private travelers identification cards. All type of heavy stuff, man. Like, it's serious, man. The power's in numbers. You either part of the movement or you're against it. That's it. Let's get out here. Let's start putting these remedies to work. Let's start perfecting the process. Taking our time, perfecting the process. Perfect the process. I keep saying that. Hope y'all enjoyed. Once again, I'm just a black man with a plan. I'm not a lawyer. I don't give legal advice. Yeah. If you need legal advice, call one of them bullshit attorneys that don't know shit about this. Oh, shout out again to Miss Serenity Love.